it's Miss T. It's time for story time, and I'm here with Annie. Hi, guys. I miss all of you. I miss you, too. It's not quite the same with just Annie and all her puppets here, but we are glad we get to visit with you every afternoon at 2:30. So today, we are going to be reading a story about a character who loves buttered toast. That's what we're making right here, huh, Miss T? Can I have mine now? Well, Annie, we have to wait until we're done with the story. Okay, I'll wait. But tell him who loves buttered toast, Miss T? Oh, yes, we have a character that loves buttered toast, and her name happens to be Mercy Watson. I love Mercy Watson. Me too. This is the story of how she came to live with Mr. and Mrs. Watson. It's called A Piglet Named Mercy. It's kind of her origin story. So let me get the butter out of the way here, Annie, and I'll sit you in the rocking chair, and then we'll get started. Okay, that sounds great, Miss T. All right, let's read A Piglet Named Mercy. Now, this story is written by Kate DiCamillo and illustrated by Chris Van Dusen. So let's get to A Piglet Named Mercy. Oh, before we begin, I need to make sure you know a couple of words they talk about in this story quite a bit. One is ordinary. Let me tell you what ordinary means. Ordinary is when it's something that's kind of regular, kind of ho-hum, the usual, ordinary life. But extraordinary or extraordinary is when something is really special or very, very out of the ordinary. Mr. and Mrs. Watson talk about that in the story, so I thought you should know what that means before we get started. Okay, so here's Mr. and Mrs. Watson. Mr. and Mrs. Watson lived in a house on Deckawoo Drive. Deckawoo Drive was an ordinary street in an ordinary town. And Mr. and Mrs. Watson were ordinary people who did ordinary things in ordinary ways, like vacuuming and washing the car and trimming the hedges. One day, Mrs. Watson said to Mr. Watson, I wonder if we aren't just the tiniest bit too predictable. Predictable? Us? Said Mr. Watson. Surely not. I just think that sometimes I wish something different would happen, said Mrs. Watson. Things are fine just the way they are, said Mr. Watson. But then something different did happen. Oh my goodness, Annie, do you see something falling out of that big transport truck? Could that be Mercy? Someone very small and not at all ordinary found her way to the Watsons' house on Deckawoo Drive. You see her walking over to their walkway up to their house? Mr. Watson made the discovery when he opened the door for the morning paper. Mrs. Watson, he called, come see. Oh, the little dear, said Mrs. Watson. Oink, said the piglet. I think she's hungry, said Mr. Watson. Is that a pig? Said Eugenia Lincoln, their next-door neighbor. Eugenia Lincoln lived next door, and she did not approve of surprises or pigs. It is, said Mrs. Watson. Can you believe our luck? Don't be ridiculous, said Eugenia Lincoln. A pig is not lucky at all. Do you think the piglet would like a bottle of warm milk? Said baby Lincoln, who was Eugenia Lincoln's sister, younger sister, and she was fond of surprises and piglets. Mr. Watson scratched his head. A bottle of milk? I don't know. This is also unpredictable. Leave it to me, said baby Lincoln. Oink, said the piglet again. Mrs. Watson picked up the piglet and took her inside. She wrapped her in a blanket. "Have you ever seen someone so darling?" she asked. "Never," said Mr. Watson. "Here's the warm milk," said baby Lincoln. "I have it right here." "This is so absurd," said Eugenia Lincoln. The piglet did not think it was absurd at all. She drank the entire bottle. And then she burped. And she oinked. And she went looking for more. I wonder if this is where the butter toast is coming in. "Oh my goodness," said Mr. Watson. "Watch out," said Eugenia. "She seems like she likes toast very much," said baby. Oh, this is when she's going for the toast. See her on the chair? Oh, the darling, darling thing," said Mrs. Watson. "Mr. Watson, perhaps you would like to hold her for a bit? Could her eat her toast?" "Certainly," said Mr. Watson. He took the piglet in his arms. He rocked her. He hummed. "How extraordinary," he said. "She is a porcine wonder." "This piglet is a wish come true," said Mrs. Watson. "What a mercy she is," said baby Lincoln. "There you go," said Mr. Watson. "We will call her Mercy." "She is not a mercy, she is a pig," said Eugenia. "Oink, oink," said the piglet. "You cannot name a pig Mercy," shouted Eugenia. But they did name her Mercy. She was entirely unpredictable. She was not ordinary at all. And she was very, very loved. So Annie, what do you think? She was not your ordinary pig. A piglet that lives with a family and loves buttered toast. I like her. She keeps everybody happy, except that Eugenia Lincoln. I don't know why she was so mad. I wonder if she's mad like that all the time. I don't know, Annie. She didn't seem very happy, but her sister Baby was sweet. Yeah, I liked her a lot. Is it time for my toast yet, Miss T? Well, Annie, let's wait until we're done talking to everybody. The Mr. Watson did talk about Mercy being a porcine wonder. What's a wonder? Well, is it like wonderful, Miss T? Yeah, it does. Wonder does fit into wonderful. That's right. Wonder is when you can't believe something. It takes your breath away. It leaves you with a feeling of, oh my goodness, how did that happen? Yeah, exactly, Annie. That's the kind of feeling you have when you think of wonder. You all are wonderful, and you leave me feeling a sense of wonder when I'm with you. Me too. I hope you come back tomorrow for story time. And keep reading. Don't forget to read, you guys. It's a great way to kill boredom. And it gives your parents a chance to work on their stuff. That's right, Annie. That's what you do to keep when I'm busy, right? That's right. Can I have my toast now, Miss T? I think it's time. Boys and girls, thanks for tuning in. And I will talk to you later. See you tomorrow. Here you go, Annie.